I have to ask Chad, did we shave the beards?
Yes, we all shaved. We were clean and shaven by the first of the year.
Well, who won?
We only did the contest at the end of November, and I won, which is good, but that means I had to pay more of a fine. So, you know.
I hate those kind of contests.
Yeah, it was for a good cause.
Just like a race, you know. Fastest one pays the biggest fine.
Yeah, right.
How much gray was in it, Chad?
It was just around the chin, like right underneath my chin, and maybe a little bit, below the lip there.
Yeah, that's where mine started.
Yeah. I just told everybody I ate a powdered sugar donut. That's what caused it.
Yeah, I just
All
saved
right.
that for a couple of years. I just shaved that part out until the rest of it started. So,
All right, Joe, we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I have 7 o'clock. Let's do a roll call.
Mr. Henderson,
Here.
Mr. Petroselli,
Here.
Mr. Gallarducci,
here.
Mr. Colosimo,
Here.
Mr. Verducci,
Here.
Mrs. Schneider,
Here.
Mr. Shashalski,
Here.
Mayor Copeland,
Here.
Solicitor McDermott. I haven't seen him sign in yet. Engineer Brett,
Here.
Chief King,
Here.
Chief Costain,
Here.
and Director Miller.
Here.
And Tom just signed in, so we're all accounted for.
All right, I'll open it up to the floor to the public. Do we have anybody that is on that wants to speak or address council? I'll ask one more time. Do we have anybody that wants to address council? Okay, with that, we'll move on to the order of business. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the December 14th, 2020 regular meeting minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. I need a motion to approve the January 2021 bill list.
I approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I need a motion to approve the January 15th, 22nd, 29th, and February 5th, 2021 payrolls.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. I need a motion to authorize disbursement of $3,323.88 to Youngblood Paving Incorporated for partial payment number 2 and final, and authorize the execution of change order number 1 that resulted in a contract decrease of $28,289.27 for the 2020 roadway improvement program.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. I need a motion to authorize the disbursement of $45,697.50 from the Capital Project Fund to LM&R Excavating LLC for partial payment number 2 for the McLaughlin Run Park Flood Mitigation Project.
So moved.
moved.
Have Bruce making a motion?
I second.
Eno second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? That motion passes. I need a motion to approve the request and grant retirement to Public Works Assistant Foreman Charles Maciel, effective March 23rd, 2021.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Wish him well and thank him for all of his efforts on our Public Works Department over the years.
You really thank him for his time. He's been good for us. Thank you.
I need a motion to reappoint Mr. Bruce Gallarducci to the Civil Service Commission with a 6-year term.
I so move.
I second.
Second.
No motions and BJ seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstained.
Note that Bruce has abstained from voting. Motion passes.
Thank
Need a
you.
motion to authorize the sale of the surplus 1996 Chevrolet pickup truck and 2008 Ford Crown Victoria Police Cruiser via the public auction site www.municipbid.com.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. I need a motion to authorize the solicitor to create an ordinance that would prohibit parking on McMillan Street for the purposes of creating an emergency fire lane in a 50-foot area across from 616 McMillan Street by the Goodwill Villa, as requested by the fire chief. There is a map in your packet that shows where this area is, and the chief is on if anybody has any questions. They've had some trouble getting a truck pulled in there with cars parked there. So we have any questions on this?
I do have a couple of questions, Bill, living around the corner from there. And Chief King, there's already an issue with parking on McMillan, and issues with the stop signs and I should say a lot of cars that end up in the intersections when they do park, plus there's a fire hydrant. I understand the purpose of the fire truck and the need for that space, but it is going to create some more problems other than what we already have with parking on McMillan, Dewey.
Maryland, as well as, the street next to Dunn.
So would there be any consideration to maybe, looking at that area, designating more spaces, or, the setbacks from the stop signs and the fire hydrant, or maybe some yellow curbs or something to help people do maybe a better job, but it will limit some of the cars, particularly from the Goodwill Villa, because it appears that a lot of people there have vehicles.
Yeah, if we could take that up under public safety, BJ,
Okay,
I think that would be a wise thing to do, because I know there's several people that park their cars right in that area and there's no place else on their grounds to park. So
Yeah, you have to look Dewey Avenue as well, because McMillan and Dewey Avenue, that is absolutely crowded.
it's really crowded. Just looking to see if we've looked at other options just to help, mitigate some of the problems that we'll have with the lack of spacing.
Hey, Chief Costain, could you expand more on why this request came in?
Yeah, so, and Joe Cower can attribute to this. He was on the call. We've had 2 calls there, one of which most recent was a structure fire. With the vehicles being parked right there, we cannot make the swing into the building there quickly and without going up over the curbs and running the risk of hitting a car parked there. Joe and I went over and looked at the area. The one house that it affects there, those folks do have a driveway on the side, right, accessible in that alleyway there. So I do believe that we're only going to lose 1 parking spot.
Well, the house on the corner of Dewey and McMillan, the old Fullerton house, has no parking. They either park on Dewey, but a lot of times they park on the side. And it's not so much the residents parking, it's the residents from the buildings.
From Goodwill, okay.
And I'm all for, I understand the need for that. I'm just trying to think, what we can do to help with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I think in terms of the ordinance itself, the safety of those people that are living in both of those buildings is paramount. And I think we need to prepare to enable the fire department to get in there should they need it. So I think in terms of addressing the actual motion that's on the table, I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance for no parking in that particular area.
Just a question. I mean, was this brought up to public safety already?
no.
No. I apologize. I didn't know that was the right avenue.
Well, and I don't know either.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to table it and let public safety maybe take BJ's comments into consideration and then then if there isn't an alternative, then public safety says we have to put it there, then go from there.
Well,
Is it worth doing that?
I can appreciate that thought, but what happens between now and the next meeting if we need it?
Valid.
Well, I don't know. You could put I don't know. You can put a temporarily no parking till further notice at that spot. I mean, they were eliminating, they would buy some time for the investigation from public safety. That's but the only thing you could do, really. Otherwise, it's going to be.
And a conversation with the folks in the villas and the Goodwill. That's generally who uses that area. Like I said, I agree with the safety issue, Bill. I understand what you're saying. Those buildings have been there a long time, and this parking issue has just come up now after how many years? So I think that's a great
There
idea.
haven't been that many fires though either.
I didn't hear Joe Colosimo's comment.
I just said that there haven't been all that many fires down there either until recently, so.
I agree with Joe. We did just have a fire and a lady burned on the 5th floor. That was the most recent call that we've had there.
So BJ, because you know the area better, so those 3 parking spaces that the chief is asking for, would those 3 cars then just have to park a block away? Is that, where would the alternative play? It'd just be further place or parking, so they'd have to walk further.
It would be, and I like you said, I think Nina's idea of doing a temporary block it now in case there is a fire, but go through public safety and at least notify the residents in the buildings and in the area that they're going to have to find alternative places to park. I think that's it's just my opinion.
Joe, Joe Cowher, would we need to pass an ordinance to do a temporary no parking there while public safety addresses it?
I wouldn't think so. I would. You could just put a sign up, and it's not gonna be really enforceable without an ordinance.
Yeah. I mean, this is for the safety of those actually that are parking there. I mean, let's remember that. So, why don't we do that? Why don't we place some temporary no parking signs there? Put this into public safety, and public safety can come back with some recommendations next month.
I have a question, Bill. I'm trying to picture that. I know the area in my head, but do we have any telephone poles there or anything to attach signs to, or is that one of the sections without anything between the curbs? You know what I mean?
The utility pole is on the side of Goodwill Villas. That's our other hindrance. So nothing on the side where we're attempting to put a fire lane.
It's just lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's a yellow or white paint marking the limits right now in the grass.
Well, we're just asking to advertise the ordinance, correct? We're not creating the ordinance, and we have to have a public hearing next month, correct?
Yeah, the motion was to authorize the solicitor to draw up an ordinance. Yeah, to create an ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was to approve it. My apologies.
Yeah.
And we can put the temporary up in the next month or so and see how much pushback. Everybody will come and tell us what they feel about it, but
if it's an emergency, you should put that sign up tomorrow, per se.
Yeah, I agree, because
another month.
Yeah, I agree, because that truck will never get in there.
Exactly. Put up a sign. If we all agree to put a temporary sign with the legal permission, which I believe they'll be fine, let's go ahead and do it ASAP.
And do you want to move forward with authorizing the solicitor?
Oh, that's fine. If even for the temporarily signed or for the permanent, one way or the other. As I recall that Joe Carter say it should be an ordinance, even if it's temporarily. Am I right, Joe?
No, I wouldn't do
Oh,
that. I
okay
think
then.
all we're asking tonight is authorize the solicitor to create it. That takes a month. And then if we come back next month and be advertising, that takes another month.
Yep.
So we're 2-3 months out. So it
To
takes
save
time.
Let's go ahead and authorize the lawyer right now.
And then we could put up a temporary sign this week through the Public Works Department.
Okay,
And that
good.
could at least get people's awareness to it.
I'll second.
I can move that. Yes, I move that. Yeah.
I'll second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? The motion passes. All right. I need a motion to authorize the purchase of a 2021 Dodge Charger Police Cruiser with emergency equipment upfitting from Team Force Incorporated at State Co-Stars, pricing at a cost not to exceed $49,288.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Just a comment there. Interesting, Chief. People wonder why cars cost so much. And I looked at, the cameras that you have to upfit with and the light bars and everything that you have to upfit. It's incredible. But
Yeah,
Oh,
nothing's cheap anymore, that's for sure. And obviously the Dodge Charger was the most reasonably priced vehicle we could find because the price on the Explorers went up $5,000 just on face value.
okay, need a motion to accept and pay any commission due December 2020 real estate tax collector report.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion to accept the December 2020 police report.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, committee reports, administration. Virginia Schneider.
Thanks, Bill. There's been some issues with the phone system lately. It's been in and out of service while it's waiting for the new updated installation, which should be done, I think, this week, right, Joe? So if any residents have had issues, I did one day. So it's because the system has been temporarily out of order on occasion. So the next thing is that the borough office renovations have been completed except for some of the back hallways and bathrooms, but the Department of Public Works continues to beautify the borough building. So that's exciting, along with the community message sign at the borough building. The foundation is underway. They started laying the block work for that. So things are looking good. And then the quarterly update for January, February, and March will be out in the trash bills this month. And in anticipation of our new 2021 annual newsletter that Joe has informed me that the articles and the photos have all been sent to the publisher and that we should have a draft by next week to review. So hopefully we'll have that by the end of the month or get it out to the residents in February. And that's about all I have, Bill.
Thank you. Finance, Joe Verducci.
2020 budget to actual for the general fund. Revenue ended at 3,483,000 and some change. Expenditures were 3,037,000 and some change. So we had a nice surplus there. The fund balance was mainly created from our loan for the different capital projects that we have in the very, very near future over the 2021 year. So we're excited by that. The sewer fund, we also had a small surplus there as well. As well as the garbage fund. 2021 budget is in effect, and we're ready to start booking that. The administration staff are upgrading the Freedom software, which is the financial software, coming in February. Joe has finalized the renewal of the insurance policies on the properties and the general liability, and we were able to increase the values of the properties but stay within budget. So that's a really good thing too. The audit will be completed this spring. So we'll report back to council once that's done. And I do personally want to congratulate all of the borough employees in all the different capacities, working very diligently on watching the expenses in 2021, especially during the uncertainties where how the pandemic was going to affect the things in our budget for our community. So job well done, everybody within the borough, from everybody that had to figure out ways to save a little bit of money as well as managing that money. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. Parks and Recreation, Joe Colosimo.
There's not much really going on in the parks. Construction work's on hold till spring. And the weather improves, I hope. My fellow committee people, I'm hoping to have like a meeting next month, 6 weeks. Got anything you want to discuss or for next year, think about it and let you know when the meeting's going to start up. That's all I have.
Thanks, Joe. Public Works, Nino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As far as public work, every one of you got the report here, which I'm looking at as well, which is interesting to me that we should thank Public Work for the beautiful job, a good job they did, they usually, for removal of the snow and keep the sidewalk clean. That was absolutely a fantastic job. For the 30-some year I'm in public work, I always heard, no matter where I'm going, Carnegie, even Pittsburgh, or say Bridgeville is the most clean road in the wintertime in the area, and we should be glad of that. There've been a couple maintenance and so forth, but nothing exciting. I was surprised to see that that Robinson Pipe have that call at the what was it, the Bank Street and Craig. I believe we have a problem a time before on that, and that say that it was not our problem. Well, I'm sure that somebody is going to do something about it, the people themselves. We ordered 300 tons of salt. I believe it's already received. So let's hope we don't need it all, but we got 2 more months. Other than that, thank you to the Public Work for the good job. And that's all I have.
I second that.
Yeah, I agree, Nino. I got a lot of good feedback on the snow removal, so kudos to those guys. Public Safety, Bruce Gallarducci.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Chairman, just for the record, on the 19th, we have 4 candidates. We interviewed 4 candidates, actually in 15, 20 minutes each. At the Borough Building, we're going to respect the COVID regulation, obvious, especially me, but we all do. We have 3 residents and 1 from Oakdale. Oakdale, I consider pretty much a resident. That's not that far. On the paper, they all look good, every single one. I think this is going to be a good task for us to pick up the right person. If council want to know anything else about it, call Joe and he can tell you more about it. But I like to hire this person at the next meeting, God willing. And that's
thank you, Nino.
Sure.
Back to you, Bruce, Public
Yes.
Safety.
I think we'll get together, Public Safety Committee will get together with Joe and both chiefs and try to work out something in that area and move forward from there on the McMillan Street parking. So that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Bruce. Mayor Betty Copeland.
Thank you. I was privileged to swear in our Bridgeville Volunteer Fire Department on January 7th. Also, we need to note that the Hennigmans are retiring from Sammy's Greenhouse after 25 years, and we certainly owe them gratitude for all their contributions to our various events through the years. New owners will be Chris and Tracy Calusi, so we wish them well in this new endeavor for them. Thank you.
Mayor Copeland, also rumor has it that somebody purchased the PNC building in the middle of town, and there'll be a new business going in the first floor where the bank was as well, and probably within the next 6 months. So I'm excited to see some development or new businesses are coming in.
Wonderful.
Thank
Yeah,
Wonderful.
good.
There we
Good
go.
news. Police Chief Chad King.
Thank you, Council President. First off, I want to say, Nino, I'm glad to see you're back on your A game.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I don't have much to report. Buddy the Elf thing we did went down pretty well. We had enough toy donations that every child in Bridgeville got a toy that day, and that's what mattered at the end of the day for all the kids. That was about the kids, and I'm glad we were able to do that. We had some generous donations from Toys for Pittsburgh Area Tykes, Global Glorious Productions, and a lot of residents came through wanting to help out and donated toys and stuffed animals to the cause. So with the help of the fire department, we teamed up with them and got it done that day. So that was a good time, and I think the kids in town needed that.
Thanks, Chief, and I will
Excuse me, hey, Chad,
Yes.
can I ask you a quick question? I brought this up before the meeting started. We're getting rid of the 2 black and whites, right?
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Okay, normally, like when I'm out and about, we have these flagging details,
Yes.
and I see our guys out there doing it. We use one of the black and whites for us to set up the roadblock for us. We gonna have enough vehicles to carry that out in the future, or?
Well, we don't, we hung on to the black and whites for the hopes of having a lot of traffic details when the Chartier Street Bridge was supposed to be replaced, but then that got delayed. I believe that's delayed until 2022 now. So the one black and white, the older one that's really beat up, that's the one we'll sell on municipal bid. The black and white that's not as in bad a condition, I have arrangements to sell that to Oakdale Borough. But we're going to try to hold off till mid-February, early March, because I don't think the car that we're getting will roll off the assembly line until March. It's nice having the excess vehicles for that purpose, but we don't have any big projects on the horizon where we would be using them, because it doesn't look like anything's going to happen until, like I said, 2022 with that bridge project.
Okay, as long as you're happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, I'll echo Chief, the Buddy the Elf and the Santa Claus trip around town was, I don't care how old you are, I always look forward to that day. And you come out, at least on Chestnut Street, there's as many adults standing out there as there are kids. So that was a great day.
President Henderson,
Yes.
wouldn't Chief King like to tell the donation that they made to Southwest Meals on Wheels with their beard challenge?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. With doing the No Shave November and December, we were able to raise $500 for a donation to the South Hills Area Meals on Wheels. So I thank all the guys that participated. I know Joe Verducci participated too. Mayor even participated. So, it worked out well.
That's fantastic. Good stuff, man. All right, Solicitor Tom McDermott.
Thank you. In addition to my written report, we did have the opportunity, Joe Power and I, to meet and go through the final draft of the personnel manual, which I must say from beginning to end up through the committee was quite well written. Finalizing proofing a couple tweaks to run by Joe and get back to the committee this week. So you should be in place to review that and take it up next month.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Borough Engineer Kevin Brett.
Yes, we did submit our report dated January 6th. Give you a few updates on the various projects. As was on the agenda, the 2020 road program has been closed out, and we will be looking to schedule a meeting for the 2021 road program. And to get that scheduled, if we are going to do a program, we'd like to open bids in early March to get the best pricing. I was talking with Joe today. We may want to include some of the work at the park. We've asked the contractor that's currently doing the work at the park for some change order pricing, which they provided some of those today. In comparison to the pricing that you received for the parking lot, it's about, at the Borough Building, it's about 2.5 times the unit prices that you received with your road paving bid last year. So we're going to talk to DCNR and see if they would consider changing that contract and closing out the paving items and letting you bid that with your road program to get better pricing. Because some of the items that need to be completed is new work, and the price they quoted on the change order is about 3.5 times what you received from Youngblood with the road paving contract. And we couldn't recommend you spend 3 times the money on the trail paving, things like that. So, and we've experienced that in other places. You get a lot better pricing with the paving contracts than you do with a lot of the other ones when it comes to paving. So once we talk to the funding agency, we'll be back to get authorization for that bid in at your February meeting. We'll be seeking authorization to advertise the bid to road program. So,
Of course, this won't be no liquid fuel donation towards that.
correct. No liquid fuels towards that. That would come out of your other proceeds, but it could be bid with the same contract. So,
Sure.
Other contracts that's been either worked on or going to be worked on. MS4s, we are working on your PRP designs to put out to bid in the spring. They're swirl concentrators, and you have a grant for some of those. Janeway, that contractor should be starting work over the next month once they get their material in. The flood control project, McLaughlin Run, is complete, including the trash rack. They'll come back in the spring, touch up and seed. Very pleased with that work and how that came together. I do want to note in the spring, since the trash rack is now in place, we have to make sure if we do get a big event, that Public Works is prepared to go up and clean the trash rack off as part of the maintenance program, or if we get a big pile of debris there. So I'm going to talk to John Howe in our office tomorrow, and he should get with Joe, and we should put a real short maintenance schedule together for Public Works, something that they do periodically, just to make sure that we keep that trash rack clean.
Would that be post-storm as well, Kevin?
Yes, and that's what we
At
want
least
to
a
have in it.
drive-by or something to that effect, sorry.
Yep, and if there's something there, make sure we have the means to get it out. If we do hear that there's a historic storm coming, we want to have the capabilities of having Public Works on alert that if we get flooded up there, that they can go in and remove the debris. So next is the Bower Hill Road project. That contractor should be starting, as well as the backflow preventer contracts. The sanitary manhole that we replaced the lid in the stream, that work's been completed. And we are submitting some permits for your next round of projects that were authorized last month. The last big item is Grow Grant. We are working with Joe and Elkasan to get something submitted for this next round, so that you hopefully can get some funding that you have not got in the past. And then the roof replacement, we are preparing specs on that. So it's going to be a busy spring. Lots of bids. We're going to try to do a couple bids a month to keep things moving for your project list. So any questions?
Yes. Happy New Year, Mr. Engineer. How are you?
Very good. Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you. I noticed one thing at the gate at the park, McCracken
Yes.
Park. By the way, I'll come back to that gate. The flood that we had, that project worked out well. There was a very, very good. Chief sent me a video. I said, man, that's perfect. That good. It was a good job. As far as the cleaning the trash rack, I say that's a long time ago. That is to be a permanent inspection by public works.
Mhm.
Keep that clean without any question. And thank you to put that on record as well. Now, as far as the gate at the park, I believe can't put it back because I was there right in the back. It is that island. I believe a little too close to the road. Now, if somebody would turn around over there, which they have no business to turn around over there, that gate will definitely get damaged. I felt that should have been at least 5 feet over, but it cannot be moved.
Okay.
But it wasn't just the way engineering done well without any question. I have another question. The main hole across from the first way behind back there, to me, be in a stream, it seems to be a little bit too low. I meant to call you in the office and discuss this, but for some reason, I feel better today to remember all those things. I thought perhaps that the main hole should be a little higher. Due to the flood, it could blow up the lid. That's about all my concern it is, because I remember when I was when I used to go to the COG, they had a weld couple of this lid because it was blown up all the time. I hope that is not going to happen over there. And you know which one I'm talking about, Kevin, right?
Yes.
Okay. So other than that, you guys did a wonderful job the short time you're with us. I'm very pleased with all the engineer over there. And thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Nino.
Speaking of gates, they started doing the McLaughlin Park gate today or the other day. Looks really good.
The gate's up.
Yeah.
The gate is up.
Yeah.
Good.
Looks really good.
Excellent. Any other questions?
Thanks, Kevin.
We do. Thank you.
I agree. I had the chance to see some of that higher water rushing down during that last rain, and the trash rack was catching some debris that was coming down, so that looked good.
Excellent.
It would be nice if Upper St. Clair would help us clean it as well, but don't count on it.
Yeah.
All right, Fire Chief Ray Costain.
Thank you, Council President. Month of December, the fire department ran 38 calls. Our 2020 totals, we finished the year with 341 calls for service. Sometime here in the month of January, our new to us QRS vehicle that we purchased off of Dormont Fire will be placed into service. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the chief? Okay, Southbridge EMS, Dan Miller.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did submit a report for the board for their review. If you have looked at that, you might have noticed that our response times kind of creeped up a little bit for lights and siren response. They basically went up 1 to 2 minutes on average for all the districts we serve. That was a result of several weather events that moved through. Anytime we have a snow event or ice event, that obviously puts a hindrance on our ability to get to people, and then it slows the whole system down because obviously the transport time increases and other units in the area are all suffering the same consequence. So that would be the explanation for that. Just to step back to the McMillan Street road issue that we were discussing earlier, it would be very nice to see something done with that as well for our ambulances. We have had several occasions where the ambulances have had to negotiate a multi-turn exit from that facility. Our ambulances, we have a Freightliner that is pretty big, and our F550 kind of has a long nose that kind of gets a little complicated to get out of there at times. So we can support the fire chief's opinion on that. We want to also thank the board for their continued support in 2021 and for also including us in some of the vaccinations to get a couple stragglers of ours that needed shots and get those done Sunday. So we appreciate that. So that's all I've got.
Thanks, Dan. Stay safe out there, man. Anyone from the Historical Society, or does anyone have a report from Mary?
She wants everyone to know that some of the artwork that Marge Orlandini donated to the Historical Society will be on display at La Bella Bean and Bridgeville Appliance. And they're also trying to make plans to celebrate a 10th anniversary in March for the Historical Society being at the location with the caboose. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Give Mary our best, please. Bridgeville Library. Anybody from the library present? No. Let's see. Parking Authority. We don't have anybody. We did receive a report today that I think Joe sent out. Is that the only thing we've got from them, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Bridgeville Planning Commission representative. I see Mike on. Mike, you have anything for us?
I don't have any report, no.
Okay, Borough Manager Joe Cower.
Just a couple quick things. You have my written report. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer that. And the conversation we had about the trash rack tonight, the Public Works is already monitoring it after the last storm where it was effective. They have cleaned it out already. We have an issue now where the field's all pretty much mud. So it's having trouble getting equipment down to it till the grass is in. So just we need to keep that in mind right now.
How are we going to keep that mud to dry out? That's just, it's another story.
Right now, they did it, but it really wasn't efficient. I think once it's grown in, it's going to work. But right now, it was rather hard for them. I think it's just the conditions of a construction site right now.
Okay, probably.
It's a given, sir. It's a given.
Someday there's going to be grass over there, obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something to think about it.
Okay, that all, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anything under old business? How about under new business? No business. All right.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll take a motion to adjourn. That sounds like Bruce has made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Nito. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pardon me? Do we have a comment or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Opposed? Anybody opposed? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Stay
Stay
safe.
safe.